Gaining belly fat is a piece of cake, but losing it feels like a never-ending battle no matter how much you work out or eat right. Sadly, apart from surgery, there is not a confirmed technique available at this time to target belly fat specifically. Today in this video, we will discuss about why belly fat is so hard to lose in the first place. Next, we will examine a highly effective workout that is remarkably underappreciated for reducing abdominal fat. In this video, it will also explain what that is and how you may use it immediately. Let's start by discussing the reasons why belly fat is difficult to shed in the first place. Dr. Bouchard first highlighted this in the literature back in 1997 when he found that genetics plays a major role by discovering that certain areas of your body are easier to lose fat than others and are largely determined by genetics. He discovered that while some people appear to be less likely to accumulate fat around their abdomens, most people's genetics prioritize losing belly fat last. Now, having your genetics stacked against you may seem problematic if you're looking to develop that slim or lean look, but there is a solution. You will continue to lose fat as long as you establish a calorie deficit and consistently burn more calories than you take in. Even if your genetics prioritize your belly fat, you will eventually lose extra fat from every part of your body if you stick with a healthy lifestyle. Additionally, while maintaining a calorie deficit primarily through diet should be the goal, increasing your exercise will assist in accelerating the process and guarantee that you lose fat even when your metabolism slows down. You guys are smart, and you probably already know that. You may have tried using activities like running, rowing, cycling, or even high-intensity interval training, HIIT, to burn more calories and reduce belly fat more quickly. These types of cardio appear like a terrific approach to burn off belly fat because they burn calories extremely quickly. For example, over time, based on what's known as a compendium of physical activities, a frequently updated database that details the number of calories burned from different exercises, a 170-pound person can anticipate burning approximately 12 extra calories per minute when running at a moderate pace of 6 miles per hour as opposed to just sitting around. Thus, a 30-minute run would result in around 360 calories burned in total. If you were to perform it 3 times a week for a year, you would burn an extra 56,760 calories. Given that back in 1958, researcher Wishnowsky discovered that you need to burn 3,500 more calories than you take to lose 1 pound of fat, this practice would result in an extra 16 pounds of fat loss annually. Even though this is fantastic in theory, the vast majority of people find it impossible to maintain traditional cardio for long enough to see noticeable fat reduction in regions that they find difficult to conquer. As a matter of fact, dropout rates often average close to 20%, even in research where participants are assigned to cardio sessions. These strategies do work. It's not that they don't. These types of cardio have their place, and some people can tolerate them without any issues, but most people no longer use them as their primary source of cardiovascular exercise. And they shouldn't, because long-term consistency is necessary if you want to reduce your belly fat and, more importantly, keep it off after you've lost it. What's the fix? Walking is the most adaptable, stress-free, low-fatigue, and easiest type of cardiovascular exercise. Are you now thinking that walking doesn't burn many calories, and there is no way? However, some clarity is provided by a meta-analysis published in 2021 and named Slow and Steady or Hard and Fast. Nevertheless, the researchers examined a total of 54 studies to find out the impact that various forms of cardiovascular exercise had on fat reduction. What they found is that intense forms of cardio like HIIT or running, while time efficient, didn't provide any superior fat loss effect when compared to longer yet less intense forms of cardio such as walking. Which makes sense, it's simply a numbers game. Your body doesn't care whether the calories you burn come from a crazy intense fasting cardio session or from playing or walking. What matters most is what you can do consistently over time. What they discovered is that longer, less intensive cardio exercises like walking had a greater fat loss effect than intense exercises like HIIT or running while being more time efficient. Which makes sense because all it is a game of numbers. Your body doesn't care if the calories you burn are from walking, playing, or an insanely intensive cardio fast. What counts most is what you can perform over an extended period. If you crunch the numbers, you'll see that even walking can burn a significant number of calories in a short period. For instance, using the same activity database we used earlier, a 170-pound person walking at a leisurely 3 miles per hour should expect to burn an extra 3.4 calories per minute or around 200 calories per hour. 600 extra calories would be expended each week if you were to walk for an additional hour 3 days a week. That is an extra 31 to 200 calories burnt over a year, or around 9 pounds lost from fat. Moreover, the math is supported by the material. In one of the few research on the effects of walking on fat reduction, participants who added just 2.5 hours of brisk walking per week lost an extra 3.5 pounds of fat over 12 weeks. Now, although hours of walking may sound like a lot, it doesn't have to be all at once. How to easily apply this to your life will also be discussed later in this video. To begin with, simply contrast the walking pattern with the running routine you were given earlier in this video. You will burn more calories in less time with the running plan, but be honest with yourself. What is the possibility of you maintaining it for an entire year? Should you, like the majority of people, put in your best effort for 2 months but then become inconsistent and give up? The extra 16 pounds of fat reduction will be reduced to only a few pounds. Not nearly enough fat to even begin to burn off the additional abdominal fat that most people carry. Walking is the best exercise for losing belly fat because of this. That is the primary cardio exercise to gain and maintain lean body mass. It's simple to follow. Now that you should be aware of the benefits of walking, let's discuss how you may put it into practice right away. Calculating the average number of steps you are now taking is the first step. If you're on an Android device, you can utilize Google Fit or the Health app on your iPhone. See what your daily average is after a week. If you already know this, great. Comment below how many steps you're currently taking. You might be shocked by how few steps you're taking, but that's a good thing since it means you have a great chance to increase that. Make a reasonable objective then. For instance, set a goal to walk an additional 2,000 steps each day. All you need to do that is incorporate 10-minute walks into your daily routine, as the typical person walks 1,200 steps in 10 minutes. Once you've reached that level of consistency, consider increasing it by an additional 2,000 steps and keep going with the intention of consistently obtaining at least 8,000 steps or perhaps as high as 15,000 steps every day, since this seems to be the range that offers the most health advantages and fat reduction. However, it's important to adjust this to meet your lifestyle. You can do these tips like take 10-minute walks following meals, use the stairs whenever possible rather than the elevator, listen to podcasts while walking, and follow other suggestions. In one study, participants who spent their entire workday at the workplace were asked to walk for an additional 5 minutes per hour. They discovered that it would result in an extra 9 pounds of fat loss over a year. To increase your weekly average in this situation, you might also try aiming for a greater step count on the weekends. But tiny things like these build up. Apply these tips and you'll be surprised with just how much they can increase your step count, and even more surprised once you notice the fat fluid coming off. And that's all. Emphasizing that walking or any other type of cardio is only beneficial for fat loss when combined with a diet is the essential message. Examine it carefully. You might burn the same amount of calories in just a few seconds by walking for an hour or running for 30 minutes. That's how many calories are in 3 pieces of toast. To speed up the process, add walking to your diet in addition to using it as the main method of creating a calorie deficit. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe our channel and don't forget to hit the like button.